Pamela, good to have you on the show. Where are you from?
So from the Gold Coast,
Oh, just up the road.
Australia. Yes.
Awesome. Hey, what's your question? What can I help you with?
So I guess I'm working solo in my counseling practice, and my question is, where do I start to build up my team?
Very good. All right. Have you thought through which roles you want to fill first, second, and third?
So I guess the first one would be an admin role for booking appointments, and then it would be because it's counseling and coaching, so it would then mean getting on board coaches and then counselors. So my area of specialization is relationship, couples therapy, and sex therapy.
Very good. Okay. Now, first question I've got is admin is admin the best decision to hire first? And the answer could be yes. But my concern is, of course, you're adding an overhead that's not a fee earner. So,
Yeah.
um, so if you went the other way and you found a counsellor, could you manage to do the admin tasks for both of you for a period of time? Because it's going to make your cash flow so much faster if you can do it that way.
Mm.
And I guess here's where it comes down to. It comes down to your ability to fund this process in the short term. If you're well funded, sure, it probably makes a lot more sense to have admin first because then you've kind of got your footprint ready to be able to explode. If you're not well funded and you're going to claw your way through this, which is totally fine, then you're probably going to want to go for a counselor first to make sure that they're funding themselves. And then, the money you make and the money they make beyond their wages can start to go to admin people. So that bit, I guess, will come down to your ability to fund that. Um, so so it's really simple to find counsellors, and well, it's even more simple to find admin people. I mean, here in Australia we have Seek.com, which is the number one marketplace for finding talent. Around the rest of the world, you would have a number one place for finding talent, and you do not want to not be there. Like I meet a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I don't want to pay the $300 or $400 or whatever it is to run an ad," and I'm thinking that's mad. Why would you try and not fish in the best pool? So to find an admin person, you'll run a really good ad, you'll offer a really good wage, you'll be inundated with people, especially on the Gold Coast, and then with counsellors, that'll obviously be a little bit tougher. You actually may want to look inside community groups. If there's Counsellors Australia or Counsellors whatever, then you could probably fish in that pool because that's a targeted group. But it comes down to the maths, right? So the mistake a lot of people think is they have to have a lot of money to be able to hire. And if you want to be agile and you want to be nimble and you want to bootstrap, you really only have to ask yourself two questions. One is, how much does that person cost me for a month? Right? So, an 80 grand wage is 7 grand a month or something. It might be a little bit more than that if you add on super and those kind of on costs. An admin person that costs you 55 grand a year is going to cost you 4.5 grand a month, right? Um, and then you've got to ask yourself the question, how long do I have to pay them until they become profitable? So,
Mm.
so it's an interesting dynamic, right, between a counselor and an admin person because a counselor is a direct fee earner. So I'm assuming that if they started with you on a Monday, you're probably making money off them by Friday of the same week, right? So that's got a really short life cycle between starting them and making money. An admin person, you're going to start them on Monday. They actually don't bring in any money, but
Yeah.
but they will free you up to probably do more billing. So then you've got to look at that timeline and go, okay, if I start them on a Monday, how long do I have to wait before they become proficient enough to take on my tasks so that I can bill more money and collect that money? And it might be 4 weeks, it might be 5 weeks, that bit. So all you've got to do is go, okay, well, if a counselor is 7 grand a month and I'm going to get paid by the end of week one, I really only need $1,800 of cash flow to be able to start that person. If it's an admin person and it takes 4 to 5 weeks and they're on 60,000 a year, it's going to cost you $6,000 of cash to be able to put that person on before you start collecting from your investment. Right? That's how you shorten that journey down to be. Then you don't need to be thinking I need 50 grand in the bank to be able to hire. You don't need that. If you're waiting until you've got that, then you're growing too slow. So that's ultimately the process of how to do this. And in my experience, it's easy to put it off. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next month. It's on the next 90-day plan. If you just jump and make this hire, you'll make it work. You'll claw your way through. You'll find the extra clients. You'll find the revenue to make it work, and you'll have a better business. So, to me, it's grab the bull by the horns and just go and get it done. If you really want to go hard, you could probably employ both of those at the same time. You could go out to the market for a counselor and an admin person and claw your way through that, and you'd have a phenomenal business. You'd triple your head count in a month. So I reckon that'd be the way to go. Have you got any follow-up questions though? Has what I said got any thoughts or concerns?
Yes, it's just then the next question would be office space. Because I work, I'm not paying for my office space at the moment. And it means then if and with the counselor employing someone else, I think there's different models where people are building their own practices, where the practice owner gets a portion of those. You can either subcontract or they can become on board as an associate. So it means that the first session you retain, and then that counselor sources or through the company they get referrals, and that gets sort of divvied out.
I mean, obviously, you'll make more money if you do your own marketing, get your own clients, and have somebody to look after them. And you bring those on as employees. That's the ultimate model, because it's the most controlling by you. You get the most loyalty from the counsellor, and you make more money because you can control it all. So I mean, if I were you, I would build with that in mind. Contractors and things like that, subcontractors. It can obviously get you started. But I find those people are not insanely loyal. They're loyal to their own consulting business and not you. And they can just change their mind tomorrow and go and get a relationship with somebody else. And so you end up building something that you can't control. So if it were me, I would be trying to employ them. And the pressure of the wage should drive you to go and do a much better job of marketing to make sure there's enough leads coming in. That's what you want, that pressure. You want the pressure of the wage, because it's going to make you get up every day and go, right, I've got to turn on Google ads and Facebook ads and Instagram ads and marketing and flyers and email newsletter. Like, if you do that bit, then you'll make sure that everybody has enough work. In terms of Workspace, yeah, you've got to get somewhere that's professional. I know the culture right now is, or even pre-COVID, the culture was like, the laptop lifestyle thing. That's good if you just want to eke out a little living, but if you want to build a business, that doesn't work. So, it's still going to be that, you want to kind of get everybody together. You want you and the counselors and your admin staff ideally under one roof. And the reason being is you can set a culture. You could expand out from there if you wanted to and have regional people that do telehealth or whatever. But I think to start with, you're going to want to get everybody. So you're going to have to go find, a really unused space and pretty it up. Like, I first started our consulting business. I just found somebody's double garage that was just full of rubbish. And I just said to them, hey, can I rent it off you for next to nothing? And I painted it and put aircon in it and put flooring and furniture. I just hacked at it to get started, and that allowed me to bring some people together to blow it up. So, don't be put off by the fact that your first premises can be pretty average. It doesn't matter. It's better than signing up for a massive lease that becomes a big burden. So just do it in stages. But yeah, you're going to want to get to somewhere where you can all be together.
Okay. Thank you. I think that kind of helps to channel it in. Like, I guess I had a bit of an outline, but it was just like, where do you start from?
Yeah. Hey, what's a handle? How can we find you? Like, give us a handle on social that we can come and find you at.
So it's Empower Counseling and Coaching Services.
Where can we find you? Like, is that Insta, Facebook?
Yeah, so it's Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Hey, yeah, it's been great talking to you, Pamela. Bless you heaps, eh? Well, hey, if you enjoyed that episode, would you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon so that you get the alerts of all of the future episodes? It would mean the world to me if you would do that right now.